All right, hello everyone, and welcome to a discussion that I'm having with my audiobook narrator, Alan Walker, otherwise known as Alan from the Library of Alexandria here
Yeah,
on BookTube, and my favorite narrator of all time, and I'm sure other people's as well. But I want to, this is going to chance for us because this is a celebration, first of all, that we are celebrating the completion of the audiobooks for the Edan Trilogy, including Return to Edan, which I'll probably release this video close to the time that
yeah,
Return to Edan is actually going to be out. But
for
Alan
sure.
is done recording it. So we are
Yeah,
celebrating, and it's going to go to the sound engineer, and then it will be probably 2 weeks or so with Audible before they say, yep, it's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
We're hoping that it'll be out within a few weeks of this
yeah,
discussion, but I'll probably wait to release this until it's close to the release time. But
yeah.
anyway, we're celebrating, Alan, because you finished recording the Adan trilogy. How does it feel to have recorded the Adan trilogy and have accomplished this, your first venture into being an audiobook narrator? How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm happy that it's done because this has just been. I mean, it's just it's been like surreal, like to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to do this. I had to learn from first principles, and that has just been a slow process. And then trying to do all of this while also working full time, and then foolishly in this process having two children.
I
Um,
mean, couldn't you have delayed having a family for this audiobook narration?
I should have. I should realistically I should have. I should have. Um,
Priorities, Alan, priorities.
yeah. So it's just been. I mean, it's just been hard, and you also don't like you don't realize you don't realize how much you use your voice during the day until you have to use it again once you've used it, and how different it sounds if you are in any way like under the weather or your voice is too tired or like there are some moments it's fortunate it's during really heavy scenes where like I'm trying to do the lower registers because I'm trying to talk quiet or whatever,
Yeah.
but like you just hear the gravel, like you just like it's just because my voice is just so tired. I kept it because it worked well for the scenes, and it certainly works well for characters that have gravel in their
There's a couple
voices.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like it's just wild. I mean, it is like it is a relief to finally be done and be able to deliver the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, especially when I'm like in the groove.
Uh-huh.
And when I'm in the groove and I don't have to reference voice samples and stop and start, because sometimes I have to do that. I'm like, oh, Philip, in this third book, Philip, you put in you put in a priest that is in the first book. In like he has like two lines. What? Who are you? What are you doing in book one? And I was like, Philip, you are kidding me. I had to go. I opened up my Way of Adan tracks and found it so I could use the same voice, even though not one person would have noticed. Not one. Not one person would have been like, well, that's not the voice of the priest from the first book.
Right.
I'm like, I don't care. I voiced him. I'm gonna go look. But like that having to stop and start, it's just not as it's not the flow zone. Like when it's like Sequara and Orvandil and Norn and Galdor and Aben, those scenes are my favorite because I don't have to reference jack crap. I'm just going
You
back.
know them. You know them.
And those voices are also really easy. There's some voices that I know them, but I can't effortlessly swap between them.
Uh-huh.
And so I have to stop, I have to recalibrate my brain, I have to say a bunch of lines in the voice. But those five, and you can put Dayrhaven in there too as six. Those six, easy as breathing by the end. So
Well, I think it's pretty much a consensus that you've done a fantastic, tremendous job with this. And it's your first time as an audiobook narrator. Just a recent review of the audiobook of Prophet of Adan compared your voice to Darth Vader when you're doing your Bledla,
I saw that.
which
Yeah.
You've been compared to James Earl Jones, man. That is like the,
That's
the that's the pinnacle, I
that's
think.
awesome. That
But
was yeah, I don't. Yeah, we're not talking spoilers. When we talk spoilers,
Well,
I'll
we are going to talk spoilers, people. Yeah, so our plan is to do non-spoilery stuff for a bit, and then we're going to get into spoilers. But yeah, I'll wave my hands and stuff when
yeah.
when we get
I'll talk
spoilers.
about that voice when we talk about spoilers.
Okay, cool, cool. But yeah, no, I think that I mean, I knew going into this that you had a certain talent. Everybody knows that you're really good at doing voices. And when Jimmy, we got to give credit to Jimmy because this was
Yeah,
Jimmy from Chatting with Nuts. It was his idea that I should. He said to me, "Why don't you ask Alan to do the audiobooks?" And I was like, I thought about it for like a second. I thought that's actually a brilliant idea.
well,
And I asked you, and you said okay. And then what is it? 2 years later or whatever,
yeah,
we're like, wow, this is done. And I could see that for the first book there was a big learning process, but by
yeah.
the
It's a
time
good
you
idea.
got to Profit, it was like you had hit your stride, I think. And
Yeah,
Return was even ironically because the books get bigger and longer, but I
yeah.
think with each book you actually got faster.
If I had not had a second child right there in August,
Yeah.
because I was like tearing through Return, and then I had a second kid, and I went back to school,
Yeah.
and the kids went back to the nursery at church, and man, between August and now, I have been sick so much. So, and exactly what I'm talking about. Like if your voice is gone at all, like, or you're
It's
sniffling, like you can theoretically do it if you're sniffling, if you don't sound congested, but the extra amount of like editing on my end I have to do to cut out those is just it was just not worth the time it's going to take to sit there and
wow.
do it. So I've been sick so much. So I like as soon as I got well this last time, I'm like, Christina, like we're gonna have to, and my wife was incredibly gracious and just decided that when I got home from school, she was just going to let me go in there and handle all the evening stuff. And I would be in there till like 9 o'clock trying to like just get through this because I'm like, I can't risk getting sick again. And I thought, Philip, I'm sitting there doing the last two chapters, and it's the last week of school. I'm doing the last two chapters, and every kid in my class is sick.
Oh
And
no.
I'm like, I cannot drop this ball this close to the finish line. So I sat in there, I think Monday, and I just knocked it out. I just knocked him out. I'm just like, I'm gonna be up late, but I cannot risk going to bed and waking up like waking up knocked out. So I just went and just tore through him.
So
So,
I think what a lot of people would like to know, having had this experience now, would you like to do more audiobook
I
narration?
mean, yeah, I would. I would. I have gotten to where it is not hard to go at it, and especially when I'm in the flow, it's super easy. Activation energy is hard to like to start because you got to be like, okay, I got to reorganize my life around this new thing I have to do. Um, but once it's going, it's easy to just, especially if you just do it, you can just knock out a few pages like every day. Um, and yeah, especially during the summers, like
Uh-huh.
when I'm not at work, that is much easier because I can sit there and, record for a long period of time and knock out a lot in a clip. During the school, it's just harder during the school year because, you know, uh, when I get home, my wife's still at work, and so I have to watch the boys, and then she gets home, and then it's almost time for dinner. And then after dinner, like if I want to get a recording done, it really has to be on the days that my in-laws are watching them. So I have like
Uh-huh.
45 minutes when I get home from work before they bring them back, slash I have to pick them up. Or I have to do it after dinner, like after bedtime routine and everything. So it's like, between 7:30 and 8 that I have to go in
Wow.
and I've been at work all day. So it's just hard to muster up the wherewithal to go and do that. Um so it is possible. It's just much slower going during the year than it could be during the summer. But yeah, yeah, I mean, this is something that I think it's just something that you can get better at the more you do it,
Hmm.
um and yeah, like, what KJ Parker needs to hire me to voice to record the all the books that he had because he didn't start having any audiobook narrators till like the 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City series.
Yeah.
So there's no audio for anything Parker. I'm like, just call me Tom.
KJ
Go ahead,
Parker.
go ahead
You
and
would
call me Tom. I'll do it.
so there it is. Somebody tell KJ Parker. to contact Alan, please?
Please, seriously, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I would absolutely
you
do
would
it.
actually do that. Okay. All
Um,
right.
I mean, next year I'm gonna work on While Darkness Gathers.
Yes,
So
yes. Yeah,
yeah,
we need While Darkness Gathers too, but
for
that
sure.
I think you'll find super easy in comparison to
Oh, dude, 300 pages, 54 chapters. Are you kidding, Philip?
yeah.
Five, 6-page chapters instead of the 34-page chapters you got rolling up and returned to it, Dan. I'm like, oh, Philip's entered his Erickson arc with those some of those chapters are so long, Philip.
I actually wanted to ask you, this can be non-spoilery still, but unless you think it's better to talk about it during spoilers, but I think you can handle this in a non-spoiler way. How do you think being the narrator for these books affected your experience of the story? In other words, would it have been different if you just were straight up reading
Yes,
the Edan
100%.
Trilogy? So
100%.
how do you think that affected your engagement with the story, your appreciation of it, or lack thereof, whichever, how did it affect you?
I'm t like when you are recording something, the like the author, like you can definitely you notice. I think you notice the author's writing more,
Uh-huh.
in it, and if not more, then certainly different because you have to speak those words. So if like sentences are like unwieldy, like you feel it because your mind predicts where a sentence is often going to go,
Uh-huh.
and it's just and sometimes you just fumble over. I'm like, oh, that's not what we're saying here. Okay, let's go back. And stylistic stuff also stands out. You notice words that are used a lot
Yeah.
and sentence structure that are used a lot and swapping. There's a couple words that are super common that you swap in order a lot, and so I always get them in my pickups. It's like it's I don't know. It's not a big deal. It sounds perfectly normal. It's just like I usually say those words in the reverse order, and
Uh-huh.
so an inordinate amount of my pickups are like, "Hey, you swap these words," and I'm like, "Dang it! All right, give me a second," and I just record it the other way. Um, but yeah, like I read
The first book.
Way of Edan,
Yeah.
and then I recorded it, and I enjoyed it recording it like even more than when I read it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It seems I don't know. That's such a good question, and that is something that I would actually love to know how other audiobook narrators feel when they're when they're reading it. I would also like to know like how many of them read or like do it cold kind of thing back and forth because I did both and I enjoyed both.
Yeah.
Um
Because for the second and I believe the third book, you actually
I
were
recorded it
reading
as I was
as
reading.
recording. Like you'd read a chapter and record it,
Yep.
and then you'd
And
read.
every now and then I that would not work for me because
Uh-huh.
though only if like you knew no it actually doesn't it actually didn't matter regardless unless like there's something that was introduced that
Uh-huh.
was important later, in which case I just asked you like I'm like, hey, does this person have more lines like later in the book, and you're like, no, they have like there's like two more lines, so don't even worry about it. Like I don't like wasting my best voices on three
Oh, but
liners.
you have some really fun voices for some like tiny minor
Yeah,
characters.
that's true, but I try to have it ones where it's not gonna like overstay its welcome
Uh-huh.
if it's like, hundreds of pages of it.
Like
Um,
the random old ferryman in
the old
book
fisherman with no
one.
teeth, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the
That
old
was
ferryman with no teeth, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, the Witchwater. Um, but yeah, so but again, when you're reading it, like unless you know, like like you've memorized it like a script, sometimes you'll just like read it and you'll take a breath or you'll expect the sentence to go on and it ends, and so it sounds completely unnatural. And I just re-record those
Uh-huh.
because I'm
That's
like,
hard.
that's not where the sentence was going. So just stop, re-record.
It
You do
sounds
not
really
understand.
hard.
You
Yeah.
do not understand how many noises your mouth makes. Like you just don't. Like you do not know. None of you understand how many the noises that your mouth makes. Just using it. Like it would get to where I'm reading a line, I would hear I would just hear the noise as of my tongue lifting up in the middle of a line,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, that's gonna get picked up. Like, and then I would go back and listen up, and I'm like, I can't even remove that. So I would just re-record the line, but you can hear it when it's happening, and I am not that attuned to the noises my mouth makes on a daily basis. But with
I
the
hope not, because it would drive you crazy.
Oh, but with the headphones on and the mic, like you hear yourself. It's just
Yeah.
it's just wild. Like it's just wild. You also don't hear it the way that others hear it. And I need to shout out my wife, who has been wonderful in listening to the unfinished products. As like she's right now listening to Return. She's like 7 chapters in.
Okay.
Um, just the raw files. And so when I'm like, Christina, like I can't, why did you, like I can't make this voice doesn't sound like it did in this chapter. She's like, yes, it does. It sounds fine. I'm like, but to me, for some reason, I don't know. Like she is able to listen to it as a listener instead of like the per I'm assuming it's the same when you're it's why authors don't all edit their
You
own
can't
books.
see your own mistakes
Yeah.
very easily. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife she's been wonderful in listening to it and
I think I guess we all owe Christina a huge thank you for being a hero for this project as well.
yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, and you mentioned how she also enabled you to even have the time to do the recording.
Yeah. My wife is she's the not all heroes wear capes.
Yes. So thank you, Christina. I mean, I
Yeah.
already thought you were the best, but
Yeah.
so wow, that's awesome. So I want to ask you some easy ones
Okay.
before we get into spoilers. Favorite, I don't know if it's easy or not, but favorite of the three books to first of all, favorite to record, and then just favorite as a story. I thought that was going to be easy.
It's not easy. Hold on. Hold on. I'm thinking. Hmm. I think my favorite to record is book two. I think
Okay,
I
I,
liked
I
recording
I
that one.
actually from the beginning felt like Prophet would be the best as an audiobook. That was
Yeah.
my feeling,
Yeah.
because of the pacing and other things. But yeah,
I really enjoyed recording book two.
uh-huh.
My favorite of the books
But as a story,
as a story, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to. I don't. Is it the third one? Or
hmm.
is it the second one? It's two or three. I think it's two or three. I think it's two
Okay,
or three.
okay,
Is my favorite. I'm finding it hard to separate my enjoyment of recording it from my enjoyment of reading it. So
yeah,
I'm not sure I can separate the two.
yeah,
Um, but I like I like Dayrhaven the best in the third book.
uh-huh. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I think that's where he is really. Well, of course, that's where I envisioned him going from the
yeah.
beginning. So to
Mhm.
me, the Day Raven of book three is the Day Raven I think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I'm excited for you to hear book three, Dayrhaven, because it
yeah,
I've been trying to slowly evolve his voice from
I've noticed that.
lost kid in the mark
Yeah,
to kind of war hero to now where he is in book three.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
Cool.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
So, okay. How about favorite character to voice and then just favorite character?
my favorite character to voice is Bledla.
Okay.
Like Bledla and then Bagsack. I just like doing any voice that is fun for me and also easy for me that isn't super hard. And I really tried to I like for some of these voices I looked up like I watched videos I'm like okay how to do this kind of accent. Like for the Alarkai, like I watched several videos. My family, my wife's family is German.
Okay.
And but I also watched like there's like a German like YouTuber that I had watched before, and she
Huh.
literally has a video on like how to do a German accent. And she's like, well, there's this kind and there's this kind. And then I watched another one. And so that's why I tried to vary, they're all Germanic or whatever, but
Right, right.
like if y'all are gonna get mad at me for my German accent, y'all go get mad at the German girl that taught it to me. So and then the same thing for the Stjas. I like looked up like how do we do like a Norwegian accent here? Like
Right.
how do we talk like the Norse or whatever?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I found some videos there and
You nailed it.
um
Yeah.
and it's just it's hard sometimes, but like I enjoyed it. Like once Orvindale stopped being hard for me, it was fun to do. My wife's favorite character is hands down Norn, hands
And
down
you
Norn.
hated doing Norn at first.
Oh no, I did, and I finally got it to where I could one take Norn, Philip. In book three, I
Yeah.
can one take Norn. Boom. I don't have to. Yeah. Oh, I did. Norn was so hard to get my mouth to do what I was trying to get it to do, and then finally muscle memory would kick in, and I could do Norn. But my wife's favorite character is Norn. My wife's favorite voice is Norn. She loves Norn. She loves.
Oh,
Oh,
good, good, good.
Ludicon. I really like Ludicon and I like doing Ludicon's voice. And I don't
Okay.
know why, because it's not super special, but I like it. And I have also seen someone else say that Ludicon's voice was their favorite. And I'm like, why? But it's someone in my
Oh,
Discord. They were like, I love Ludicon. I'm like, man, me too. Me too.
cool,
Um,
cool.
yeah. My favorite character. Mm, 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 mm. Orvindil, Norn, Yoraman,
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
Edge from
Oh,
book
good.
three.
I'm glad you like
From book
Edge.
three.
Yeah, yeah.
Really liked Edge from book three.
Good.
Bulk. I'm a Bulk lover. Like Bulk is,
Really? Okay.
yeah, he's just like I'm not fooling with these Cargolese. Um, so yeah, yeah, yeah. Queen Rona, I like Queen Rona a lot.
Good.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Those are
Okay,
mine.
good list. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now we did your favorite. What was your least favorite character to
To
voice?
voice,
Yeah.
hold on, hold on, hold on. It who is my least favorite character voice?
I feel like it would have been Norn like a year ago.
It was Norn. It was Norn after book one and partway through book two. It was Norn. My least favorite to voice. It's it's none of the major characters anymore. It became these minor like soldiers
Okay.
that like we would see, but then they would come back, and I'm like, why are you still here? I don't know how to do this voice. And it's not one of them. It's the fact that they're all together. So they whenever they're there, they all talk, and I have to go and I got to figure out which voice is which, and I
Okay.
have to. It just slows down the process. So that really was that's really the issue there. Who else? Oh, no, for my favorite, I gotta put Cert in there. I love voicing Cert.
Oh, Sword, I could see you having a good
I
time with
love
it.
voicing
Yeah.
Cert.
Yeah.
Um, so no, in three, I didn't really have any problems in the third book. So I'm having recency bias here. I
Uh-huh.
didn't have any problems um uh like none of the voices gave me super difficulty. Um so I'm gonna say it was Norn from book one Norn.
Okay.
And Imhar, when I was really establishing Imhar's voice, I would have trouble like just keeping it the same.
Uh-huh.
That was another problem that went away with time. So Imhar was hard, but a lot of people liked
Yep.
Imhar's voice, which is good, so it
I
worked. But
like his the voice you chose for
it
him. Yeah.
just took me a while to get him.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the range is incredible. I mean, if you were to actually count the number of distinct voices you've done for this trilogy,
you should
a lot.
see my hold on. I'll be right back. My child is crying.
Oh yeah.
Just one
I
second.
will.
And this
All right.
so we were talking about how many voices. Okay, just look. This right here, I keep because remember I talk about voice references. Look, this right here is all of the voices that I keep track of, the chapter they're in, where they appear. So I can hold on, we're not done. Let's look at the back.
Oh my
There's some
goodness.
more. And then if each one of those is an individual voice that I have to keep track of so I know where to go to listen to the reference. There are programs, and really I should figure out how to use them. Like, um, if I continue to do this, like there other audiobook narrators, they use things like Positron, for example, is a program that you
Yeah.
can put in like voice samples and like pronunciations and stuff so that it's all in one place.
Oh, so
So
it's
you
an
don't
easy reference.
Yeah, so you don't have to hunt for them like I do, and that will all streamline the process.
Oh,
If I do keep doing this, I have to find something to help streamline that process. Because it just slows it down. Because I always had Reaper, my recording thing up, and then under it was my media player of some random chapter from either this book or the previous book, pulling
Okay.
up a voice so I could listen to it right
I guess what
before.
you could do is you could have like a character list like
Yeah,
that appears like in the Malazan book or whatever. And then you could do like a standard sentence or two for every single character as
yeah.
a reference point or something.
That's what that program I was talking about does. It's
Okay.
you just literally pull up characters, you scroll down like alphabetically, and then it has the phonetic pronunciation, it has how you pronounce their name, and then voice sample, where it's just a sentence of them talking. Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
It's hard, isn't it?
yeah. Oh yeah. So you don't realize how like how often, people come back, you need to learn how to talk about them, and it also depends on how long it'd been since I'd seen them. I'm like, what? Like what voice do I even do for them? So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. All right. Anything else non-spoiler that you want to talk about before we actually get into to potentially more spoilery? This is not like a going to be a comprehensive review,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're gonna talk spoilers for the Edan trilogy, including all three books, but not While Darkness Gathers because Alan has not read that yet.
Yeah.
So I started to
I
read. Yeah.
I appreciate you that I appreciate your patience in while I learn all this stuff and deal with life and stuff. I appreciate everybody who listened to it. And I hope more people will. Like now that the whole trilogy's out, like y'all should all pick it up and just binge it. Just listen all the way through. Um,
Yes. Yes.
it it's been incredibly rewarding experience, but certainly a difficult one. I guess most of them are. Um,
Yeah, that tends to
so
be the case. The rewarding experiences tend to be the difficult ones too.
yeah. So, if you're listening to audiobook narrators, understand like it is not just stepping in your closet and hitting play. Like it is not even a little bit. Um and and huge shout out to audio engineers out there who, you may not even know who their names what their names are, and like they are the ones that make like at least make me sound good. Like they remove, like John, my audio engineer, removes the mouth noises. Like removes the mouth noises, balances the audio to where, it's you're not going from loud to quiet in the same, sentence or whatever. Um, good for them. It is not a skill that I understand or know, but I know it makes it sound good. So,
Yeah, no, it's this is a huge process
yeah.
and quite time consuming and expensive,
Yeah.
and you have to pay the sound engineers, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. So y'all go and buy this so Philip can get an ROI here.
and Alan,
Yeah.
because
That's true. Go buy
it's
them.
I don't know how much you end up making per hour spent
Yeah.
doing this, but yeah, it's hopefully something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So well, yeah, and yeah, please do check it out because I do want to thank you as well, Alan, because I had given up on audiobooks. I never thought I would actually really be able to listen to audiobooks and enjoy them. And it was listening to you narrate The Way of Adan that actually convinced me to try again because I had tried a couple times and really
Yeah.
bounced hard off of
Me too.
audiobooks. And I listened to you narrate The Way of Adan and I loved it. I had such a good time. And it was because I wasn't worried about missing anything. That was
Yeah.
always my issue. It's like, oh, I just zoned out for 50 seconds. I got to rewind. And I'm constantly like, when I'm reading a book, a physical book, I'm able to just, turn my eyes back to that
Mhm.
paragraph and reread it or whatever. But when I zone out, with the audiobook or I tried all kinds of things like doing something but then I'd be focusing on that and then realize I'd missed like a whole segment there or if I just try to be still and listen I usually would fall asleep
Yeah.
or whatever. So, but I listened to you narrate The Way of a Dan with a totally different attitude because I wasn't worried about missing something, and I loved the experience. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do this again. And I more than a year later, and I'm listening to audiobooks all the time now.
That is
And
awesome.
I went from okay, I'll just do books I'm familiar with and I know really well. I'm not worried about missing stuff to trying books that are I hadn't read before, but are more like just fast-paced, action-oriented,
Mhm.
entertaining, so not too deep, so I'm not missing much. And now I'm actually reading. books that are really actually complex and deep. I'm listening to those now and thinking, okay, sky's the limit, really. And
We
I wouldn't have done it without you.
we follow the exact same audiobook journey, Philip. Like I bounced off them several times, and it was Bernard Cornwell's Winter King
Oh,
that is the first audiobook I listened to in its entirety, and I listened to that whole trilogy, and that's how I've read it. I've never physically read the Warlord Chronicles. I've listened to it through twice, and that's why like Galdor is an homage to Merlin
oh, no
and
kidding. Okay.
in that audiobook. Yeah, because I'm just like, oh man, like why you acting on Merlin in here,
I love
Galdor?
your Galdor voice. That's actually one of my
Oh,
favorites.
good. That's what Christina said when I was talking to her and during the break we just had. Christina said the same thing, and that is like I'm paying an homage to um, Jonathan Keeble's Merlin in the Warlord Chronicles because it's just wonderful. He is just so good in those that series. Like he made like first of all the Welsh pronunciations like Gorfithid and all that is just great. So I don't have to read it. But after that, I started listening to doing books that I've read before, like rereads. Like all of my rereads now are on audio,
Yeah.
because, yeah, like you said, I'm not so concerned about missing things. And so now I will listen to nonfiction on audio, and thrillers, like things that go real fast paced, like you're talking about. But also, I will get the audio for a book that I'm reading, so I can listen to it on my commute because I have an hour a
Uh-huh.
day, that I commute. So I will just read at home, and then when I get in the car to go to work and come back from work, I'll just listen to it and then find where I made it to in the book. But that helps me not get lost and miss stuff. Biggest problem with fantasy books, I don't know the names. So
Uh-huh.
so that helps when I'm also reading it that I know what the names look like when I hear them. Um, in fantasy, you can never just assume that you know how that name looks or is spelled when they spout it out. But yeah, and now I listen to audio. I have an audiobook running all the time. Um, so I am glad that my recordings of this
Yeah.
helped you also embrace the audiobook.
Yeah. Big time. Big time. So, yeah, cool. Well, I think now we are ready to do some spoilery stuff. So,
Do it.
again, spoilers for The Way of Adan, Prophet of Adan, and Return to Adan,
Comment.
not Wild Darkness Gathers.
Yeah.
Although we may talk about that a little bit at the end, because you, I think, started reading that or you took a
I, I
peek.
start I started flipping through it. I pulled it up at school, the PDF at school, and just started trying to catalog voices.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, cool.
So,
So here we go. Spoilers, waving the hands. We are doing it. So yeah, you talked about Day Raven's journey, and in terms of how you've had to change your voice.
mhm.
So what are your thoughts on full spoilers here, all the way through Return to Adan. What are your thoughts on Day Raven at the end of it all? Do you feel differently about him at the end of Return to Adan than you felt?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like he's not. I mean, he has his hero's journey where he's growing up, but then like it's Return is way beyond that. Like it's not like he goes from grown up to being possessed by the cosmos, basically.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Um,
good way to put
and
it.
and
Yeah.
so that is like that's just a huge turn of the screw of the hero's journey there because he doesn't become mature and older, he just becomes the ages. And
Yeah.
so him wrestling with the elf, that was fun doing him and
You
wrestling with
had,
the
you had a
elf.
different voice when he's really possessed by the elf,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to just Dayraven.
Yeah, exactly. And so I've got the prophet, how the prophet talks, and then how the elf talks. And then when later in the book, when he is not the prophet anymore,
Right.
it is it's different, but still it's similar, but also still different. I made a conscious effort to speak slower when he was the prophet to
Uh-huh.
kind of try to lend it that weight of the ages.
Yeah.
And so I'm still using the same voice when the elf is gone, but it's faster, so it sounds different, but it's
Sounds
still
more
like old.
human.
Correct, but it's still older, wiser kind of Day Raven type thing. So I hope you like it. We'll see.
That sounds great.
But it was definitely it was just interesting to do Day Raven differently the entire book than I had been prior.
Yeah. Though I felt this, I sensed the change from the Way of Adan to the Prophet of Adan, even. Like
Yeah,
there's a more mature voice there,
yeah,
a little more sure of himself at times and deeper, just and not in terms of the sound of the voice, but in terms of just the
hmm
conviction behind the voice, if you
yeah,
will. So yeah, very cool. And as you say, he is sort of possessed by the cosmos there at the end of it. And he is just a human. He's a person, at the end of the day, and he makes mistakes along the way. Like I think of his attempt to convert Erkenwald, for example, into a more empathetic person is a disastrous failure. It's I mean, it may be satisfying to have Erkenwald meet
stagger
his
out in his night dress to
yeah,
just be clobbered like
yeah.
yeah, it's a ugh, oh my gosh,
That's pretty
pathetic,
brutal. Yeah.
pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not have a good end to
It's a
it.
pretty, it's a failure, 'cause I think ultimately you cannot force someone to be compassionate. You
Yeah.
cannot force someone even to be empathetic. That has to come from within a person somehow. It does help to have contact with other people, to meet various people, to travel and all that kind of thing, and to open you up in ways. But you have to be willing. A person has to be willing, I think, in the end. And this is something that, for me, Day Raven's journey is ultimately also about understanding humanity in some way, because you have the elf's perspective, which is, well, look at these really destructive, terrible creatures that essentially cause destruction and harm other creatures, enslave them, kill and enslave each other. I mean, look at these. They're the worst. Humans are absolutely the worst. And to take all that pain and suffering away from the world, all you have to do is just poof, eliminate all the humans, right? And the world, everyone else will be happier in the world without the humans. That's a kind of an outside perspective, which makes a kind of certain sense, right?
Mhm.
But then there's Dayraven who says, no, 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 no. No, you have to give them the chance. Humanity is capable, not just of redemption, but of compassion, of love, of connection. Humanity is capable of this, and you have to allow them that chance. And so that's the battle, that he's having, is between this one view of us as essentially like a cancer on the planet,
Mhm.
and the other view of us as being, no, we are capable of beauty and connection as well, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, you can't make someone, you
No.
know, you can't force someone's you can't you cannot force a heart change onto people. Like um and John Williams in Augustus, and this is you're in great company because John Williams, that's one of the things John Williams talks about in Augustus, with all Augustus's virtue laws. He's like, you can legislate behavior, but you can't like legislate the heart behind it. Like you can't make someone, like you said, be more compassionate. You can't make someone be more virtuous. You can make them behave and what, Christina? No? Well, you could make someone behave in a better way, but you can't make them want to, and you can't make them feel it, and you can't make them like it. That has to come from within.
Right.
And Yerkenwald is concerned about his legacy
Yeah.
and his city and how he's going to be remembered.
Yeah. Even in the end, it's about him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. We know people like that now.
Yes,
So
we do. We do. Unfortunately, we
you
do
think,
indeed. I want people to know, though, that I wrote this back in 2000. The first two books were done by 2007, and the third book was done in 2012, 13. So that's when I
dang.
was writing this. But anyway, yeah, it's uh, quite a journey. I think that Dayraven undertakes. The other character that I feel is you could argue the hero of the trilogy in some ways is Sequara, because she at multiple points in book one, she saves Dayraven, his life. Book two, at the end of it, she saves everybody when Dayraven's going to go all elf mode.
Yeah.
At the end of the Battle of Fulhan, it's Sequara that pretty much saves everybody there
Mhm.
by bringing Big Dayraven's humanity back. Reminding him and by literally giving him back his memories too. In
Yeah.
that moment. And then of course in book three there she is trying to reclaim her home and free it. And at the same time, there's that conflict between, well, I have my duty to Astrolad, and then I have, this person I love, who I want to be with and help. And the whole way through, I feel like she has these several conflicts. One is that her duty versus her love for Dayraven. There's her desire to be a healer versus the weapon that she has been forced to become in the course of defending her homeland. So, did you find her journey? Did you in voicing her as well? Did you at all feel like there's an evolution here in this character of Sequara?
Yeah, my that you just mentioned it. My favorite aspect of Sequara is her coming to grips with the fact that she is and can be a mass murderer
Yeah.
with the Almakti. Like she has the ability to incinerate and take as much life as she wants because she's pretty powerful in the gift,
Yep.
and she does, and has to wrestle with the fact that she is a protector, but in order to do that, she has to take large amounts of human life. And I don't really know what choices she has because I mean her other choice is just to be mown down by the Toylanders. Um, but it is interesting watching her wrestle with that and also wrestle with the responsibilities after Queen Faldira dies. The responsibility she's going to have of ruling Azralat now and what all that is going to entail. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then there's Yoramon, who I'm not quite comfortable calling him the villain, I guess, of book three, but he kind of takes over from Bledla in a way as being like the central antagonist in some ways. Like Erkenwald he's a narcissist, he's a sociopath, whatever you want, but he's to me he's an aside almost in some ways, whereas Yoramon takes over a lot of the ambition, let's say. And we know that ambition can be very dangerous. He's a very Faustian character in some
mm.
ways. I feel that's how I see Yorman anyway, as a Faustian character. So what are your thoughts on Yoruman? And you said earlier that this was a character you actually kind of enjoyed, I think, right?
Yeah, Yoramon he's my favorite type of kind of one of my favorite like villain like archetypes where
Right.
he's like I like the cordial like uh fitting in his role in society and sucking up when he needs to but secretly hates the people he's sucking
There's a
up to.
facade there, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like the two-faced kind of like, ooh, really charming and polite in private, but like, scheming behind the scenes. Like I just like that kind of villain. Also, he's an academic. I really like academic villains also. He's searching for knowledge, which I also am a huge fan of villains that are like looking for, arcane knowledge and stuff because he wants to be able to be immortal and or resurrect his mom that he lost when he was a kid and so I like Yorman like I like Yorman the whole time. I especially like him when him and Yerkenwald are plotting against Bledla in book two.
Uh-huh.
um that's actually my least favorite part of book three is the fact that I don't get to do Bledla's voice.
I know I killed him at the end of book
I know,
two.
I know. So not like there was a hole, like there was a like how everyone can sense the hole where Bagsack is, where the gift has been taken from him. That's
Yeah.
me recording book three, sensing the hole where Bledla's voice was that I don't get to do anymore. So
You
that
need
was
some
so
Bledla flashbacks or
that was
something.
so sad for me. But otherwise, yeah. And then Yorman in this one, he's horrible. Christina has gotten to where. But Christina's like, Philip was right. Like, I feel bad for Bagsack. I'm like, I know, I know, I know. Like, Yorman's horrible at the beginning of this, but then he spends time with the prophet and becomes less horrible
Yeah.
and and then gets what he wants, but it isn't. not prepared for it. This is
Yeah.
he's the Nazi opening the Ark of the Covenant in
Yep.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he gets his face melted basically and becomes the that was fun doing the Yoruman elf voice in the one time where
Yeah.
the Yoruman Dwola um
The day raven.
speaks to Day So I tried to do the same thing that I did when Day Raven is kind of like um
Cool.
taken over. But so that was fun. But yeah, Yoruman, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. Um
Classic arrogance where he thinks he knows what he's doing, but yeah, didn't. I mean, he does explode a couple heads before.
I
Yeah.
liked that. Edulf and Morcar suck.
Yeah. So
Morcar's a child molester, and Edulf is a sadist.
yeah, that's accurate. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Wow. Well, so and then there's of course you know, a character that a lot of people have told me they were surprised that I would have done this, but it seems to be a favorite of a lot of people. How do you feel about Saren? And voicing Saren, I can see voicing a adolescent girl would have been a
Hard,
challenge.
hard.
Um,
She was the hardest voice for me to get, I guess, right.
uh-huh.
And again, yeah, that's up to you. You may hate it, but don't tell me. But
I
she
have actually grown tremendously in my appreciation for how audiobook narrators can can convey voices that are so far away from their own. Like, so I'm listening to a variety of narrators, some women who have to do like a deep voiced man, or a man like you with a relatively deep voice
yeah.
having to do an adolescent girl.
I same thing, Philip. I've gotten an appreciation for women having to do male voices and men having to do women voices, and there are different ways to go. Like, and some are whatever there are, and some are the other. But so for her, I tried to you know, do a 14-year-old girl and give the idea. I think it sounds like Day Raven. I think it's a little younger earlier.
Mhm.
And then after things happen to her, I think it sounds a little more serious and
Yeah, she
kind of
has quite a journey there too.
world weary. But it just took a while to get right. Now, toward the end, like when Saren and Edge and Sequoia, when they're all talking, I got it. I one taked it. I was able to one take it without having to
Nice.
go back. But I initially for Saren a lot. She was the most re-listened to voice I had, like the one that I pulled up most to be like, okay, like let me try to get this right as I was doing it. But I like Saren. Um,
Yeah.
um, I like I like the first chapter when she's with her friends and just how she is finds herself at the center of events through no real fault of her own.
Yeah.
And I like that her, brother is fighting for the resistance and her parents are like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" But then, Irkenwald shows up and decides that he's just gonna be the worst. My wife hasn't gotten to that chapter yet.
Uh-oh.
She will
Yeah,
not like it at all.
I'm sure.
She will not enjoy that chapter at all. But I do like how Ma frickin' shanks Yerkenwald, like just
Yep.
stabs him in the face. Like I love that. Like I love that. And he's a big baby about it. Because he's a coward. I do like that Yerkenwald does acknowledge that he is a coward later. Like he's like, yeah, I am a coward. But again, it's still about him. Um, even
True.
after he's but then, Saren and seeing was it Len get killed by the plague, right? It's Len, right?
Len dies of the plague.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Len gets killed with a plague. And I love the Saren Dayraven chapters. Like I really like when she's translating um
Yep.
his preaching. So
Yeah.
I like those several chapters where they're together and then he has to leave her and she doesn't listen. And then I like when they reconnect as Dayraven and Saren
Yes.
rather than the prophet and Saren. So
Yeah.
I like Saren. I like Saren a lot. Certainly, I liked her certainly more than I thought I was going to as this little girl that comes out of nowhere and inserts herself in proceedings.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what I was trying to do there was a lot of times in fantasy, you get the heroes, you get the villains, and they have this big conflict, this war. and it's all very heroic and often idealized. And so seldom, except in passing, do you get the perspective of the ordinary people who are affected by these
Yes,
conflicts. And
I
Saren is
agree.
that voice
Mhm.
for me. Saren is the traumatized people in the middle of all of this and what happens to them because of conflict. And that's very seldom talked about in fantasy. But believe me, I've seen conflicts, and I know people affected by them, and it is something that completely it's total upheaval. Your whole life is just it is impossible to describe the extent to which it can destroy you. And for a person to survive, not only survive that, but to actually proceed with a kind of courage, and the determination to, like, when she's trying to get to Dayraven and she remembers, just like Crag Isle when she used to swim out there and
It's this is nothing like Craig.
that's it. But she finally gets this was nothing
It's
like
like
that.
nothing like Craig Isle.
Yeah. That to me is maybe the single most heroic thing that anyone does in the entire trilogy, is what Saren
I
does.
love that Bagsack helps her.
Me too. And I wanted Bagsack to have his little redemption arc, I guess, or whatever, but to say, hey, let's take another look at this guy who, if you only know Bagsack from book one,
And he's
you think
horrible.
just a stereotyped,
Yeah.
villainous, goofy, just not much there. But if you know the Bagsack in book three, I think you feel differently. A lot of people have told me anyway that you feel different. I feel differently about Bagsack now than I did, and maybe
I I loved voicing cracked Bagsack. Like
yeah, I can't wait to hear this. Yeah,
it was like all premise of normal voice is just out the window. This dude's lost it. Like cracked I love cracked Bagsack. He's so fun.
I mean,
He's
I
so
was most
fun.
excited for you doing the dragon in Prophet of Adan, but now for
So
Return,
fun.
I'm actually most excited to hear what you do with cracked Bagsack, actually.
Cracked Bagsack it was fun voice. And the dragon in Prophet was also
Yeah,
that was I didn't talk about that in the non-spoiler section because just in case people don't know there's a big dragon in book two.
yeah,
I like how that review you were reading earlier also mentions it without mentioning that it's the big dragon.
yeah,
That was one of my favorites because I just went for something like I just like experimented with stuff. I'm like, how am I going to do this without um, because there's some audiobook companies. It just depends on what kind of production it is, on whether or not they add audio elements. But mine doesn't. So I'm like, how can I affect this without using any reverb or any kind of like audio tricks or whatever?
yeah.
And I let Christina listen to it. And she loved it, and I'm like, okay, well then hopefully this will be
Amazing.
good. And then you liked it too. So I'm
I
like,
love it.
nice.
And I got some good news for you.
What? Oh,
While
oh,
Darkness
While
Gathers,
Darkness Gathers. Yes, I read the back. I read the back. I was so excited. I was so happy.
you're
I'm
gonna
so
have
happy she's back.
you're
What's her
gonna be able to.
problem? What's her problem?
Well, you'll see. You'll see. I can't talk about that, but
Okay. All right.
but it's not a spoiler to say Gor Sarhad is back in
That's
While Darkness Gathers. So
that's exciting. That's exciting.
yeah.
Um, but my favorite characters, like book wise, Orvindil and Norn and their
Uh-huh.
friendship. The
Yeah.
friendship between Orvindil and Norn is some of my favorites. Um, and I think at the beginning. Is it the beginning when they're setting out in Return? I think it's in Return where they're just like making fun of each other about how Norn can't ride a horse, or
Yeah.
or being on boats, like they're on boats and they're
Yeah,
always
poor
making fun.
Norn.
They're
Yeah.
always making fun. And Norn sucks at riding horses and sucks at being on a boat.
Yep.
Um, they're just I love Orvindale and Norn, and the fact that I forgot by book three. I'm like, oh, the Dwergs and the Fjalls hate each other. I forgot
They're
about that.
supposed to.
I
Yeah.
forgot about that because
Yeah.
they do such a good job. Like they're I'm so glad that you did not kill Norn
Yeah.
in the third one. Though
Thanks Sequara for that.
he
Yeah.
fake out deaths twice, Philip.
I
Two
know.
times he fake out deaths in
Yeah.
that last chapter, in that second to last chapter.
I
Two times.
know. I couldn't
And I was like,
resist.
because first I'm like, oh well, frick, Norn's dead. But then I got him, he's talking, and he talks to Orvindale, and then he closes his eyes again. I'm like, oh well, okay, well at least he got to say goodbye. And then he's back. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, okay, quit toying with my emotions, Philip.
I mean, that ending, there are characters who die though.
Yeah, Raven dies. You kill everyone is basically like I did not realize. I was sitting here waiting for um Uthred and the spider and was it Tyrion? Is that his other name? Is that the other
Yeah,
one?
Tyrion, those guys,
I
yeah.
was waiting for those three to come back, and then I realized, oh wait, no, you just killed everybody over there. Okay, everyone's just dead
Well,
over
they're
there.
actually alive at the end of that, but yeah,
Are they really?
yeah,
Okay, I knew they were alive at the end of the chapter, but I never saw them again, so I'm like, oh, they just killed everybody over there.
yeah, no, they made it. They made it. Yeah.
Okay, okay, good. Because everyone else dies in every one of those kingdoms. They all
Yeah.
die.
It's been I mean, the Illarkai were very thorough there. Yeah.
They just mow them down. They mow. You know who else I like in this book? Skuld and Munzel. They
Yes, okay. There's a pairing we could talk about. Yeah,
they
yeah.
are they are so, it's like good for them. Like good for them finding some domesticity amidst their
Their
insane.
conquest. Their
But
brutal
I
conquest.
do like that Cert gives the order like I mean like is a relative term. He's saving them so they can be slaves. But he's not saying kill all the Toylanders, like kill the women and children and
Right.
the old people. Like he's like spare them. We need thralls. And I mean, like I'm saying I like that, but I mean I don't like that he wants to enslave them. But I do like they're not just like mowing through. They're trying to like establish like a new kingdom
Yep.
with them at the top of the hierarchy instead of as thralls,
Yep.
like they have been. I really like Cert. Like Cert was done dirty. You did him dirty, Philip. You did Cert
Oopsies.
dirty.
Yeah.
You did him dirty. You
With
just
that, were you a bit surprised when the Yoruman elf just sort of like, okay, I got you all. Boom. Yeah.
yes, because Orvindil was about to fight him. Orvindil was about to fight him. Orvindil was getting ready to run on that bridge and fight him. You denied me my Karsa fight.
It
You
happens at the end though,
Yeah,
when
it did. It did.
he's
It
kind of
came
a
back. It
zombie.
came back. So I was okay. It came back and I was okay. And like Norn throwing his axe in his face to save your Orvindil was great. Great stuff.
Good,
Um
good. Yeah, good for them.
yeah.
And then another pairing that I love the way you did in Prophet, and I can't wait to see what you do with them in Return is Galdor and Aben. I
Yeah.
loved those two voices together. I thought you just did so well in
One
Prophet.
of my favorite chapters is 8 in Prophet. And
Uh-huh.
my wife especially loves it when Fat Aben is standing on Galdor's shoulders trying to crawl up that thing. And he's like, I'm not meant to carry fat shapers.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I love Galdor and Aben together. All the pairings I really liked. Um, I love the interaction between Yerkenwald and Nothelm in this,
Uh-huh.
where
Yeah.
Nothelm is finally like, you are a terrible king. Like you are a terrible king.
Yep.
But like if you're gonna be the king, you need to get out there and like freaking do it. Like you are awful. And
Right.
you see that he hates following orders, but he's a good old soldier, so he does things that he does not want to do.
Yeah, no, I feel like an interesting character in the sense that I admire him. I think Nothelm is a virtuous, good person, and loyalty to him is extremely important. But how far do you go with your loyalty if the person who's in the role that
Mhm.
you feel beholden to, that you feel loyal to, is horrible, is evil? How far do you go with that loyalty? What's the point where you say, "I'm sorry, but I can't support you anymore," you know?
I don't know, Philip, but I sure wish a whole bunch of people would think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. But Nothelm I mean, he's a good guy. He's a decent
Yeah,
person.
I really liked Knockdown.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he was one of the MVPs in this book for me. And then you cut him down. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah. Sir, that was Sirt's fault,
I
not mine.
guess he's dead. Well, I guess I can't be too mad because I do like Cert. I really like Cert. Like like just he was just so much fun. Um I wish there was like footage of me recording. Like you can always see
I do too.
I'm having such a good time when I'm recording Cert, because I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there like this, and like, ah, that's how many men you slew in as many breaths. All while voting me. You have done well, Munsil. It's just
Yeah,
so much fun. It's just so much fun.
nice, nice. I love it. I'm so excited for this. Well, I don't know. Anything else spoilery you want to talk about? I think we didn't cover everything, but we
No, yeah, no, it was three really goes in places I did not expect it to go. I did not expect it to go in many of those places.
yeah.
Um, so y'all
Yeah,
should read this.
three is where I took the most risks,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you can tell or not, but three is the one I wrote after I read Malazan the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I think I can tell. I think I can
Okay.
tell.
Okay.
It's good. Guys, listen to this. Go. Well, you've already heard it. Even if you've already read it, go get the audiobook and listen to it. It's a different experience. I can attest to this. It's a different experience.
Yeah.
Um, and some of you, if you don't like audio, try it anyway. And you know what? Maybe you don't like it. That's fine. Um, Understand if you don't like it, you don't have to come tell me. Like you don't have to come and let me know personally. That's fine. It's
But
okay.
if you do like it, do tell Alan.
That's okay. If you like it, please tell me. If you don't, that's fine. Like that, I understand. It's not like no audiobook is going to be for everybody. Even I've had people listen to um Jonathan Keeble in the Warlord Chronicles and have said it's not for them. And I do not understand those people as humans. Like I just don't. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not for you.
Oh,
Um,
well,
so, you know,
but like you said, no book or audiobook is going to be for everybody.
De gustibus non est disputandum. There's no accounting for taste.
Yep.
We're not all gonna like everything. So, but I really appreciate the opportunity and I'm excited to record While Darkness Gathers. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually thinking that you're going to have a blast with that. So, yeah.
yeah. Okay, so While Darkness Gathers has a bunch of it's got the scions here of the cast.
True.
We got
Yeah.
Orvindil's kid, Foles' kid.
Yep.
So his kid's half
Yeah.
sister.
Who, by the way, did appear, if you recall.
Yes, I know. I looked it up. I looked up her voice.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I gotta make it a little older now. It's got Rial, who clearly is named for Imhar's sister,
Correct.
but is not like I was like at first I was like, is that Ronan Imhar's kid? Like, but if it's an orphan, then I don't know. Where is Saquara's kid?
You'll have to find out.
What do you mean you'll have to find out? Isn't she pregnant at the end of the third book?
She was clearly, yeah.
Where's her kid?
I mean, you have to. What did the kids say? Raffo.
Rafa.
Is that what they say?
Okay, so there is something going on. I just thought I missed it. I'm like, which one's her child?
Yeah.
Like I thought she was gonna have a kid.
You were right. Your memory is correct.
Philip, are you taking this away from people? Are you gonna is was there something wrong? Did she not have a baby? Was it stolen? Did Rumpelstiltskin take it?
You'll see.
All right, well, I guess I will see. But Orvindil's in it, which pleases me. Norn's in it, which pleases me. The dragon's in it, which pleases me. Sequara's in it, which any of those people you put in where I'm like, okay, got the voice. Thank you. You've done some work for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Boom.
You'll have three major new voices to do.
Who are the major ones? Vorland,
Rial, and
Rial,
you've got Kel, and you've got Voland. Uh,
Voland,
Voland, you already know, is Orvindil's son.
and then who's
That's not a
the third
spoiler.
one? Is he the douchebag? Cal?
Kel is yeah, you could describe him that way, I guess. We'll see if you keep
He,
that
he was
sense.
being mean to someone in the chapter I was just scrolling through. Who is he?
You'll find out.
Is that a spoil? Okay, killing me, Philip. You're
That's a
killing me.
spoiler.
All right,
You'll find out.
right on, right on.
I can tell you that his mother is a someone that you have heard of before and met. She's a kind of a noble woman, wealthy woman from Astrolad.
Okay, all right.
You've heard of her before. It's a blink and you miss it thing though.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But yep. So we'll see. You can text me when you figure all these things out as you're reading.
I 100% will. I absolutely will.
Okay. Cool, cool.
So,
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alan, for your
thanks, Philip.
time, for being my favorite audiobook narrator of all
Appreciate it.
time, and for doing this. It's been a really fun project for me to watch.
Yeah,
And I could not imagine a better person for bringing my stories into the world. This performance has pleased me to no end. It has surprised me at times. It has just delighted me all the time. And yeah, I'm so happy we did this because you've done a brilliant, beautiful job. You've done justice to the story and then some. So,
I appreciate it.
I just really appreciate it. And I hope a bunch of people are going to discover you as an audiobook narrator. I think you have a real future in this. There's so much talent there, and also just the willingness to do the hard work, which
Yeah.
is you've done this so professionally from the beginning. So yeah, I just have nothing but praise, and I know that a lot of other people have too. You look at if you don't believe me, look at the reviews on Audible. Look at what people are saying about Alan's performance there, and on
Are they
good.
really? I avoid reviews like the plague because
I mean, in this case,
I'll feel too bad.
I can't recall a single negative thing about your
Well, that's good.
narration.
That's nice.
Just lots of people who've loved it so far.
That's nice.
So yeah, so must be pretty good. So yeah, I hope people will discover you, and I'm looking forward to after you're done with all things Adan to the KJ Parker audiobooks.
I wish. I wish. It's like, guys, no one else is clamoring to do it. Like Orbit, just let me do it. Like, just let me do it, and so that people will buy them because there's no audio for them, and that's weird.
That's crazy.
I
That's
know.
crazy. Yeah.
So,
All right, it shall happen. It shall happen. We're calling it now. So, all right, Alan, thank you so much. Thank you
thanks,
everybody
Philip.
for watching, and until next time.